Hello Internet, welcome back to our Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead series. In the last episode we pushed into town. We're still shooting for these bookstores and libraries that we want to explore, and of course we won all that valuable loot. Unfortunately, this meant that we had to fight a lot of zombies, and in fact right at the end of the last episode we had zombies breach the chain link fence around the pool, and that is where we left things off. So in this episode we are going to address that. We're going to start looting as soon as we clear these enemies, and yeah, let's jump back into it. So hello Internet, so let's talk, so immediately, let's talk about the map. So, in case you, first of all, I made a video about it, so you should check this out. I'll put a link in the upper right corner of the screen. But basically, there was an update to the game that now allows sprites to be displayed on the map screen. We can see here kind of, I'm guessing this is forest or brush of some sort. It also added the ability to zoom in and out of the map screen, which is a really amazing ability. Super glad to have that. And then you'll see, you know, many of the tiles are not correct, right? Among other issues. So first of all, many of these don't have, they're just letters on a black background. They obviously don't have the background like the rest of the world. That's obviously one thing that makes it ugly. Another thing that makes it ugly is that it broke all of my nameplates. Another thing is that mysterious or unseen tiles appear as this kind of hash, this, I don't know what you would call that, just lined image here. In fact, if I zoom out, you'll see that at the edge of the map as well. Basically, everywhere I've unexplored has those blocks to it. And then the other major issue, which I can't find anyone else who has this issue, it seems to just be me, but I have this huge black bar at the bottom of my screen. Now, after making that video, someone did immediately make the option to turn that off, which is what we're going to do. And now normally, and the reason I left it this way is because I wanted to talk about it. Normally when a new feature comes to the game, even if I don't like it, I will play with it immediately. Just because I think a lot of people update and they want to see the newest stuff and they want to watch someone else deal with it, whatever. But in this particular instance, mine is so broken that I just don't think I can play with it. Between the black bar, which I still have a black bar, but it's real tiny. I wonder why that is. But anyway, the broken nameplates is annoying. The lack of images is frustrating, and I just think it will turn people off more than it will actually benefit people to see that. So we will definitely check in on that again in the future. But for now, we're going to roll with the old ASCII map. It's familiar, it's better looking, etc., etc. So, yeah, let's get that out of the way. So next up, let's talk about these dang old pool monsters. So they did breach the fence in the last episode. We have, I think I saw 3 snappers total. It's weird that there's a gate open, but they all, of course, are too dumb to use the gate. So we only see 1 snapper, but I swear we saw more than one. They're the big concern. These web zombies are basically just regular zombies. They're very weak. Snapper, not so much. Snapper will mess you up and deal a lot of, it has a very strong bite attack, which I believe inflicts bleeding as well pretty frequently. With a crocodile-like snout and rows of protruding teeth, this swimwear-clad zombie lurks in the water. Man, I just stuttered like a dang old embarrassing moment of stuttering. I mean, not that it's embarrassing if you have a stutter, but man, I hate when I stumble over my words. I feel like people judge me. So the main issue here is that there could be more of them in the pool. This is actually not terrible. Pools used to generate, there was a patch in Cataclysm history where pools would generate like 8 of them in one town, which was really infuriating. Okay, so there we see the rest of them. There's another snapper, but not a huge concern. Yeah, so there were 3 snappers, that was correct. And they broke the fence. The web zombies are not strong enough to break the fence, but when they're surrounded by each other, they get a boost to that, plus the snapper is strong enough to break the fence. So they're probably going to come up here. Probably we'll get about a group of 8 of them. I can loop around the building to thin them out if I have to. Why don't we just back off, let these come to us? They are pretty clustered. So let's fall back so some of them get kind of distracted by the building here. And they'll probably trickle around the edge of the building, maybe 3-4 at a time. So let's just chill. Oh no, we got a big little horde. They all tracked through. Well, good for you for staying together. Always buddy up, buddy system. Well, that's fine. In fact, let's stop falling back. Let's just shoot them. Very low chance of grazing hits, so we can use the P key. And now I know kind of at what distance I can use that P key. Oh, we hit a column. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Can't waste my ammunition. I think our magazine is very low. I seem to recall we have not reloaded in a while. But we'll just start thinning the horde. I think you took a bullet already, so you're probably going to bleed to death. Oh, you're barely hurt at all. Okay, so we'll just keep plinking away here. Oh, and you died before I could shoot you. Okay. So these two do not see us. Looks like their vision range is not great. We did not get a snapper around the building, which is a problem because we don't know where it is. And we really don't want to get surprised by it. But all the shooting we've doing, obviously, all we've done, it's going to draw the attention from things in the local area, but we seem to be doing pretty good. Okay, where's that snapper? Oh, you didn't really come over here at all. So let's move over and get their attention. And you can see many of them migrated north as they were hearing those gunshots. How many? We should have reloaded. 14 rounds, so we must have reloaded our magazine before we came into this combat. Ignore. I bet you bleed to death, not really a concern. So again, just this little bit of tedium. Anyway, let's talk about Cataclysm. Everybody, exciting news. Obviously, 0.F stable has released. This is my first video recording since that release last, I think it was on Thursday. Did you just bleed out already? Which is great news for stable players. Obviously, everyone gets to update. It's great news for me because it means I can resume my development series where we talk about the development of the game. Is one of the most popular things on my channel, and I definitely noticed a downtick in my analytics when I stopped doing that series because it was a pretty reliable, like, I don't know, up to 700 views, you know, depending on the week. So that's obviously going to have a positive impact on my channel to get that rolling again. Looks like we've mostly cleared them, so I think we can start pulping. And I know a lot of you watching this, that's like your favorite series, you know. People like hearing about the changelogs. I want to do better with that series. So like the video that I linked at the beginning where we talked about the map was a much more highly edited video. I was, you know, panning the map screen around, that kind of stuff. I want to do more of that instead of an off-the-cuff discussion about the changelogs. I want to script it and have it be a better series, so hopefully that is a thing to come, although it takes forever. That I think the map video was like 7 minutes long, and it probably took me like 4 hours to put together. I kept forgetting footage, and I'd have to go back and record new footage of the map screen and stuff, so just time consuming, you know. Kill this shrieker, although it's not a big deal. We've been shooting, so obviously anything that would hear the shrieker would have heard our gunshots by now. And it looks like we fully cleared this pool, so I think we're ready to explore these bookstores, which we will do after we lure this fat zombie back. Yeah, oh, and the other issue with the 0.F release is that in my tutorial series that I've been recording, I referred to the most recent stable as 0. Your gun is empty. No, I just hit reload. Why is it empty? It's not empty. You're lying to me. In many of my tutorial videos, I referred to 0.E, which was the most recent stable at the time. So all that work I did, I have to go back and re-record. So like the tutorial series that is already taking forever is going to take even longer now. What kind of armor do you have? You do have the military composite plating. Why don't we mark this on the map as a place of interest? Harvest armor, because we have not ever put armor on our vehicle. And we're getting to the point where some of the monster evolution is pretty intense, so it would be nice to have a little bit more armor so we could more effectively run things over. And I think we're good to loot. How do we have... Our inventory looks good, so let's pop in here and grab some books, which I think we started looting but then realized we didn't have space. So let's just go back over what we've already looked at to verify we didn't miss anything. That's right, Swords of the Samurai will have the Nodachi, and I assume like the katana and wakizashi probably recipes in that. Physical chemistry, not something I'm super interested in, but it's nice to have. Let's do the exterior first, and then we'll work on the interior tiles. That way we don't skip any tiles by mistake. Sure, cookbook, why not? Survivor's note, what do you say? I'd like to thank my high school culinary arts class for teaching me how to make RDX and mutagenic serum. This is clearly a survivor note from back in the day when cooking, like nowadays, if you make mutagen, it obviously uses our chemistry skill. Back when I started playing, and for a long time, it was just the cooking skill. So this survivor note is saying basically, thank you home ec because now I know how to make mutagen because I learned how to cook in school. So obviously just a little bit of an outdated note. Looks like these swimmers did come through here and smash stuff up a little bit. Probably not anything super of interest, but we will have a look. I did see a zombie. There you are. Hello. I can't fire at you because of the way things are. I did not bring my spear with me. Let's pop outside and see. I don't really want to shoot from down here. Oh, I saw a skull zombie as well. It's weird that it was color-coded white because those are about as dangerous as the biter zombies we just saw. In fact, that's what I based them on when I made it. So you would think they would be a little bit color-coded red considering they're a fully upgraded creature. I mean, they're not particularly dangerous or anything, but they're not they're not dangerous. You know, they also have a pretty... Oh, hello. Why are you all in my library? So there's... Bro, let me go. There's multiple of them in this library, so I obviously did a pretty bad job clearing them. I can't believe I didn't see them. You're just too fast. You should be... I must have a little bit slowing effect going on. Something's going on. Am I slow? I'm quick, so I'm not even slow. Why does my base move cost 119? I should be at a positive 7%. So why is it probably my leg encumbrance? No, that's running only, right? Leg encumbrance, movement point cost +4. Does that count for both legs? So is it a total of +8 or is it a flat +4? Only +1 from feet. Why would I be down? Well, let's assume it's 8. Let's assume it's double, one for each. So 8, 10. So why am I 20 above what my move? Why is my move cost so high? I don't know. I wish you could tab over it and just see a rundown. I mean, that's what this is. It is a rundown, but why is my base move cost 119 is what I don't really understand. Okay, doesn't really matter, I guess. Why don't we go back to our base and eat and drink? We need to be eating even when we're not hungry, which I keep forgetting to do, and we're still getting those calorie dense messages. Now on the plus side, because we've swapped to, sorry, I guess a little saliva there. On the plus side, since we've swapped largely to shooting instead of melee combat, we're going to get weary less, which means like weariness, remember, is an indicator of how many calories you're burning. And you can see, even though we're tired, which means we've been up a full day already, basically working all day, we're at the end of that like waking cycle that we're on. We're still we're not weary at all, and that's because we have not been engaging in melee combat. We haven't been crafting. We haven't been doing, you know, laborious tasks. We've just been pointing a gun at things and pulling the trigger. So as we shift more and more to shooting, we're going to burn fewer and fewer calories. Where's my car? Man, I parked way down there. We're going to pull up so we don't have to walk so far. We're going to consume less and less calories, which means, oh, Ultica got an update. We now have a RAM on our vehicle instead of that ASCII tile that we had previously. It looks like these solar panels look a little bit different as well. They're darker. Oh, I bet. Let me have a look here. Okay, so I think maybe the darker ones are the upgraded solar panels, and then the lighter ones here, which I don't know if you could even differentiate them on mobile. But I think the slightly lighter colored ones are the regular solar panels. That does look like that's correct. So that's pretty great. We closed the doors. Maybe the doors got updated as well. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they still don't line up super well with the stow boards. That's okay. The back door does, but... But it's cool to have a RAM. That's cool. Am I on Ultica? I want to make sure I haven't like picked the wrong Ultica or anything. No, we're on standard Ultica. So yeah, they added a sprite for the RAMs. I like that. That makes my vehicle look a lot better. I like that. And it's a pretty standard sprite. This is what the you know, historically the RAMs have looked a lot like this, so that's totally fine. Let's drop the few books that we picked up. We can drop the heroin. Probably never going to use that. Might as well reload our magazines while we're here. Reload, and we will cook some meat. Again, how's our meat supply doing? Surely we still have probably 60 pieces of meat or so. Let's cook this up, and then we'll have something to drink as well. I do think we'll finish looting that building before we go to sleep. That way I won't forget that I'm looting it, you know, and partway through looting it, that would be not great. So we eat up this cooked meat here, and then let's have ourselves something to drink. Do I still have clean water? Do I have any tea? No, we'll just drink water. I should make some tea though. Some mineral water is fine for the time being. We maybe should pick up some gallon jugs too. I don't think I brought really any with me. I think we used them all when we found that sugar house because we took maple syrup. So let's pull this up as well so we don't have to walk as far. When we go back to sleep, we'll drive back. What did I hit? I hit a rock. We'll drive back out here. That way we're not near enemies that might surprise us while we're sleeping. But for now, I just want to be a little closer so we don't have to backtrack quite as far. Let's park right here. It's fine. Pop out. Again, verify it's being tracked on our map. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose where we parked our car. And I think I actually dropped my spear down where we had been parked previously. Oh no. Where did I leave my spear this time? This is always a fun game that we get to experience every now and then. Let's look for we're already looking for a spear. Okay, so maybe I dropped it further up. I do remember. Okay, we went to the park. We looted a couple of these buildings. Making a new steel spear would take a long time. I really don't want to have to make a new one. Let's just move up here. Maybe I left it somewhere. Still don't see it. Still don't see it. Maybe around the corner. Still don't see it. Where would I put my spear? It might be in our vehicle. We'll look, but if not, I might just accept that it's lost. Again, we've swapped almost exclusively to firearms at this point, so I'm not really too broken up about it. Still not great to lose a spear though. We were in the restaurant for a little while. I think we were meleeing things in there. Doesn't look like it's around here though. I think we checked the barricaded house. Why don't we pop in there and have a look? Don't step in blackberry bushes. Have a look. Nothing. I do think we checked the basement. Didn't we just leave the basement because there were enemies down there and we didn't want to deal with it? There was no real incentive for us to deal with it. Okay, so it's not in there. This is fun. And we did check in this building. I think we checked. Did we check across the street as well? I actually don't think so. Looks like they have an interior greenhouse. That's a bit peculiar. We did go in that other pool, but let's check in here first. I don't think we looted this one actually. Close those up so I'll remember. Oh, that sounds different. Okay, so there's some new sound effects there. That I don't understand why. I didn't think anyone has updated chest hole in a really long time. I've never heard that sliding door open close before. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Hopefully you could hear that. I'll turn it up in editing and hopefully you can hear what I heard. I usually have my sound turned way down. I mean, we'll check the pool. I really can't think of anywhere else we would have left our spear, so I guess it's gone forever. That's a bummer. Alright, well, it was bound to happen eventually. How many times have we lost this thing already? So not a terrible concern. I'll do one more check in my vehicle to make sure maybe if I auto sorted it, put it on like a weapons pile or something, but I really feel like we would have seen it. I mean, we were parked pretty far down there. Let me go down here all the way and we'll check, because we were parked down here. All right, okay, and we'll check the weapons pile and then that'll be it. Sorry, I know this probably is not entertaining. Where's my weapons pile? Weapons pile, do. Okay, one to the north here. We'll have a look. Spear. We have multiple copper spears, but not our steel spear. So our steel spear has vanished somewhere. You know, we forgot it. We left it behind. Okay. Anyway, let's check this library or bookstore, whatever it is. Let's finish looting here. I think there might still be a swimmer in here. Let's just walk around. You had to destroy all the tiles, didn't you? And I don't know, maybe we'll walk somewhere and we'll see a spear laying about, but odds are... Oh god, you scared the crap out of me. Odds are good that's gone forever. not a super big concern. Really, you're missing these like 60% shots, right? It's great. Okay. So we went around the outskirts. We did loot there. Let's check the rest of these. Hopefully they can't destroy books when they smash things like this. Fahrenheit 451, really. Dune. Okay. The spice must flow. We already have those books. Let's continue looking around the exterior. Come fly the treacherous skies. I don't know what that is. A lot of novels. Obviously, as one would expect in a bookstore or whatever. No God from a Corpse. This is a weather-worn paperback written by some skirt named Lee Rackett. We talked about this before. It was that language that I really didn't like, describing the women and things. Which, I mean, it's supposed to be like a grizzled detective novel, I think. But it's still, every time I hear someone use the term skirt for a woman, I'm like, I'm good. Thank you. No thank you. All About Swords, also good. Actually, no, this is a magazine. This one does not have the recipes. I don't think it does. Let's pop out real quick. Read All About Swords. What do you have going on? Sword fighting techniques. So probably not any recipes. In fact, well, it's color-coded blue, so we can gain skills from it. What skills, though? Cutting weapons to 1. That's pretty terrible, to be honest. That's not very valuable. Alright, winemaking. Hopefully these interior ones have a little bit more of the skill books instead of just terrible novels that we don't care about. We already have all that. What is this thing? Reading glasses. We don't need those. Exclamation point is a pencil, of course. Of course. Very highly valuable pencil in the apocalypse. Biodiesel, we do have this book already. It is a good book to have, but we already have it. And yeah, that's it for this building. Okay, not really super valuable. The most valuable thing we found was the Japanese sword book, for sure, is the most valuable thing. Let's pop back here. Let's drop our goodies. Actually, let's read all of these to get access to the recipes. So we'll flip through the unsorted pile until we find the red color-coded books. That should be all of them. We'll grab those. We'll pop out here, we'll quickly read them so we will have access to their recipes in the future. Oh, it's taking a really long time. Game stuttered pretty hard there. Hopefully that's... Game's been running slow. Even before I updated to the newest experimental, we were having some issues with the game slowdown and presumably not because of like a ton of monsters nearby or anything like that. It seems to just be all the time. So let's read this, and then we will check the Japanese swords book. What is it called? Swords of the Samurai. Yes. All right, what do we got? Electric forge, charcoal forge, long pole, Swagen die set, metalworking chisel. So all stuff we already have, basically. We already have a forge, we already have Swagen die, metalworking chisel, all that. We learned the kukri, I don't know how to say that one, bokin, the cestus, I believe is how you say that. It's cestus, right? It's like the armored fist, basically. Razor bar Qatar, pair of butterfly swords. Is that supposed to be dual wielding? Like they're just a single item, but they're treated as a pair? The wakizashi, katana, nodachi, tiger claws, lajatang, naginata. Why is the naginata in there twice? I don't know that. Chris, Kirpan, Tonto, my neighbor's yelling at his dog, repeating crossbow. So out of this, what would we make? If I were going to make one of these things, I really like the Naginata. So that's the Japanese pole arm. It's basically, I mean, I guess technically it would be a glaive, right? It's just a long kind of curved blade on the end of a stick. Always been one of the things I'm fascinated by. I really like staff type weapons, long pole type weapons. So probably would make that. It is a reach weapon. It would allow us to make reach attacks, but it's a little slow. And it is cutting damage, which we don't love. We would prefer something with blunt damage. Unfortunately, the only thing I see here that would be blunt is the cestus, possibly the bokin. Let's look that up, see what that is. Bokin. A solid wood training katana. Okay, so I've seen these. So that would be blunt, but it would be very low blunt damage compared to, say, so it's 24 blunt and 1 cut. I already have a baseball bat, which would be more than that. 22 bash. Okay, so it's comparable, but I could make this a nail bat and get a few more points of damage. So that's not super relevant. Let me look at the Naginata here. Why do I have 2 of these recipes? One requires... They both require forges. Why are these separate? One is made using a katana or wakizashi. That makes no sense whatsoever. Why does that require a katana? So the blade on a Naginata is like much wider than a katana or a wakizashi would be. And why would you use that? Why would you destroy a good sword to make a... I don't get this. I don't think this recipe should be in the game. But anyway, it would take about a day and 17 hours because we don't have any proficiencies, although we do have partial blacksmithing proficiency. Would be very easy to make. We could very easily churn this out. It would just be time consuming. You'll see it deals 45 cut damage. It is an end game weapon that just damage wise, it's very good. Cut damage tends to perform the worst though. Piercing and bash both have their benefits. Cut, not so much. Maybe we'll make that since we lost our sword. Why don't we... Okay, so we didn't get a ton of value out of that bookstore, but remember there are 2 more here that we are going to explore. So if we look, we just hit this one, but there's another one here, and then there's another one down the block here as well. And also we were going to hopefully push over to this subway station, but again, don't really expect there to actually be a lab here, so I don't even know if we're going to do that. But if we're here, we might as well hit other things in the area. Remember the flaming eye we saw was here. That's a little too close. I don't know if I would push up to this. We probably would be safe going to this gun shop. We should also stop by the fire station. Honestly, we should just hit a bunch of this stuff. We might as well. We've been driving a lot. We might as well explore a fair bit. Which I think is what we're going to do. So, okay. Yeah. So we dropped the books. Why don't we sleep? And then I think when we wake up, we will work on making a Naginata. I just don't see... Oh, I never put curtains. Oh, we need to put curtains in our vehicle. So let's pop inside and grab some curtains real quick. Can I tear down curtains on boarded up windows? Doesn't look like it. So just bring me up here. Oh, you don't even have windows because you're not going to have curtains because you're not a residence. So we'll pop in here and smash this stuff down. Should give us some sheets. Same thing here. We can actually carry 4 sheets in our inventory. I'm a little surprised. I don't think you could do that even before the nested inventory changes because they're so voluminous. Although actually, I guess a lot of the clothing items did have their volume. They were reduced, right? Because you can actually fold them up, and we always treated them as these huge items, which didn't really make sense because obviously you can fold a sheet into a very portable... Doesn't matter. Anyway, let's install some curtains real quick. Install curtain. Very simple process. We obviously... I think it does require Mechanics 1. Didn't we talk about that? It does require Mechanics 1, but of course that's a non-concern for someone at this stage of the game. That's trivial at this point. I don't think I want to keep the sheets in our inventory or in our car because they're just going to take up a lot of space. Although I don't have any blankets on my bed, so I will take one to have something on my bed. We should pick up a pillow as well, just for kind of roleplay reasons. Obviously we don't need to do that. And I think we're going to sleep. We are a little bit at risk because we're parked here. I think I'm going to sleep here anyway. The smart play would be to pull south, but I'm very lazy. So we're going to sleep, which will probably take a long time because the game is it's a little slow lately. Anyway, yeah, so we have a plan for the immediate future. We can make ourselves kind of an end game weapon, forging wise. It's just not really the one we want. I would prefer something like a mace or a warhammer, something that deals blunt damage, but again, we don't have those books. Maybe we should wait to craft something until after we've explored the other bookstores, because if we get there, let's say we spend the next, full day and a half making a Naginata, and then we come back and we find the forge book that gives me a warhammer, well then I would make a warhammer. So that would obviously be a huge waste of time if I find those books. So we should wait until after we see if we get the books we want, so we can maybe weigh our options at that point instead of rushing into the first weapon that we actually get an opportunity to make. Man, this is going real slow. You can see the animation even is very stuttering, and if I look at my resources, my computer is whirring up really heavily, but it's only using about 33% CPU, 10-15% GPU. So I'm not sure why my computer sounds like a jet engine right now, or what Cataclysm is doing that's taking so long, but okay. You can see the timer here is also incrementing very slowly. So I think I'll just wait until we're done here. Alright, internet, well, it took about 7 minutes for me to sleep in this game, and while that was happening, I was on Discord talking about, hey, it's taken a really long time for my game to process me sleeping. So I don't know what's going on with that, but for now, we're going to call the episode. Sorry about that weird ending, but I've been sitting here for a while. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. I'll be back with more, and we'll sort things out in the next one. So thanks for being here. See you next time.